Welcome back to my videos. I'm so happy to see you here again. In this video, I will take you to experience a house with a large garden, a pond, and many fruit trees, so we can have a perspective on the lives of Vietnamese people for rural areas in Vietnam. Typical characteristics are that houses often have large
Quả này
gardens,
chín rồi cô ạ.
covered with trees, and often have ponds and lakes to raise fish. This is a characteristic and traditional feature of Vietnamese houses since ancient times. Now, I invite you to join me in experiencing specifically the house of the retired grandparents to see what their lives are like. I will shoot specific details from low to high so we can have the most specific, general view. The first thing I saw was that the house has a very large garden, covered with many beautiful ornamental plants. It takes a lot of care to have such a beautiful and neat garden. This house belongs to an uncle who worked in the military, so there will be many special features you see. The house has 2 floors and spacious, but the objects are quite simple like the soldiers' personalities. There is a bronze drum typical of Vietnamese culture placed in the most solemn position of the house, which is also a way to always remind the next generation to always remember the culture and history left by their ancestors. In Vietnam, to know whether a house is in a rural location or not, we just need to look from above to see the house's location next to fields, where farmers farm. In front of the house, there is a large yard with grapefruit trees bearing a lot of fruit. The house will become very cool when covered with trees around the house. Besides, there will be a very good environment for human health. We will look from above to see this more clearly. Now I will take you around the garden and fish pond to see very interesting things that I think only Vietnam has. My wife today must also feel these interesting things because she really likes nature and trees. When the garden is large and has many trees, I feel the environment is very cool and comfortable. Looking from above, I can easily see that the houses have been built by people for many years, which is a process of renovation and expansion to create a complex of houses over time. The garden has small paths for walking, paved with bricks, so it is very clean. Behind the house is a field, so it is very airy. The remaining sides of the house are quite densely populated residential areas. From this angle, we also see that the Vietnamese countryside is very well developed. Even though it is rural, the population density is quite high. The fruit garden has very large jackfruits. The grapefruit trees produce a lot of fruit, some of which are ripe. And here there is a guava tree with edible fruit. This house has the very large ponds to raise fish and snails. Around the pond, I saw many trees, mainly fruit trees. Looking from above gives us a pretty beautiful picture of the garden pond. The garden is large, so wherever you stand, there is fruit to eat. There are also small paths around the pond, making me feel very comfortable. I was really surprised because the jackfruit tree was small, but produced very large fruits. Really interesting. How do you find life in Vietnam? If in rural areas, the house and garden area is quite large, people often build a model combining garden, pond, barn to provide themselves with basic food for daily life. Just walking a little, my wife felt tired, but still did not stop because there were many more interesting things ahead. Looking down from above, I saw many coconut trees planted around the pond. I'm sure I will have the opportunity to pick coconuts. No one picked these coconuts to eat, so they are too old. The more I walked, the larger the garden became. The grapefruit trees laden with fruit close to the pond are truly a beautiful picture. I will definitely find one that is ripe enough. In this position, I just relax and rest, looking at the wonderful grapefruits. Here it is. What I'm looking for is a ripe grapefruit. Do you see any difference in the color of the fruit when it's ripe? This was also the first time I experienced picking coconuts. Need a vehicle to carry what I picked. I thought there would be no more jackfruit bigger than the previous one, but now you see, this one is very big.
Quả này chín rồi cô ạ. Cơm vàng rồi. Cô ơi, cái quả này chín rồi, cho cái cơm nó lên vàng này này. Bớt không?
My uncle said, this pond is full of big fish, but today I spent all morning walking around the garden, so I won't have time to catch fish anymore. I will definitely have a chance to catch big fish from this pond. Couldn't catch fish, but I'll try to see if I can catch any snails. You see, the snails are quite big. Do you eat these snails in your country? These jackfruits are ripe on the tree. I will try bringing them in and cutting them open to see how the quality is. It's very fragrant and golden, guys. These are really interesting experiences. If you love Vietnamese life and people, I will continue to take you to other houses in the following videos. I believe each house will be a wonderful experience that you will see. Vietnam is a country where people are very friendly. We love free life, nature, and want to make friends with people around the world. After more than 4,000 years of war and domination, we understand the value of peace. See you in the next video. Thank you very much and wish you good health and peace.